Welcome into WagerTalk TV. I'm Drew Martin, joined by mid-major Matt and Rob Vino from Sports Memo and WagerTalk.com. Guys, we're talking West Region here in the NCAA Tournament. We got Oklahoma and Missouri in the 8-9 matchup to likely face Gonzaga, the Bulldogs here. Robbie, we're seeing Oklahoma minus 2-point favorites, 141 being the total. What are you thinking here with the Sooners and Tigers?
Well, I'll run through a couple of the basics here first, Drew. Let's just look at some quick ATS numbers for the folks. Oklahoma obviously stumbling in here, 1-8 against the spread in their last 9 games, 1-5 straight up last 6, and they're laying 2 points here. So, asking a team to win that hasn't won 5 of their last 6 games a little bit difficult. However, Missouri overnight their last 9 games, 2-7 ATS, 3-3 straight up in their last 6. Oklahoma's had 4 straight up wins since the 1st of February. 3 of those are against Iowa State. So, that great streak that they had in January where they were defeating the best of the Big 12, they really went ice cold down the stretch versus the field, the tournament field. It turns out that the first 5 games Missouri played were all against NCAA tournament teams, and they went 5-0 straight up, 4-1 against the spread against those teams. You throw in SEC wins against Arkansas, Tennessee, Alabama, and Florida. 3 of those on the road. Only Bama was at home. So the Mizzou schedule pretty impressive. Oklahoma's got a couple of wins against other tourney teams. Alabama at home, the same as Missouri. They were shorthanded in that game, so you probably give them a little added plus. They also beat Oral Roberts, which Missouri did as well, so equal there. But Mizzou's probably got a few more quality wins on their schedule. I want to talk, though, guys, about the venue here because these teams are going to play at Lucas Oil Stadium, which is going to be divided into 2 courts, one north, one south. They're only going to play 1 game at a time there. But to me, long-standing theory has been if you play in a football stadium, sight lines are tough enough. If you play in a football stadium that's reduced to a half court, so to speak, because you got 2 courts installed in there, it's going to be a little bit weirder for these 2 squads, at least in my opinion. First time around. And let's remember that nobody gets to practice at these venues that they're going to play at. All the practices are at the Indiana Convention Center. Multiple courts there for teams to use, but no practice, a really weird setting in a football stadium. I wonder about the shooting in this game. Real quick here, keys to the game. Obviously, Mizzou has more interior size. Jeremiah Tillman, Kobe Brown, Mitchell Smith, 3 big guys. For Oklahoma, in order to match up, maybe they go into the bench a little more with Kirk Queth, maybe some Jalen Hill, we'll see. But I think more than likely, Oklahoma will try and just have Brady Manick stray out beyond the 3-point arc, maybe drag Tillman out with him. Tillman's foul trouble is always a concern, but it's less this year than it has been in the past. So if Jeremiah Tillman can stay in there, Mizzou definitely has an interior edge for sure, size-wise, height-wise, all of that. If it comes down to a free throw contest, guys, Missouri tends to get there a lot more often than Oklahoma does. Oklahoma's kind of a jump shooting team. Mizzou will penetrate. They'll get to the free throw line. 5 of the top 7 scorers for Mizzou shoot better than 76% from the free throw line, but Tillman and Kobe Brown are real liabilities. So late game, Lon Kruger's a smart coach. We'll see what Konzo Martin does with Tillman if this is a close game, if he has him on the floor or not. OU shoots very well from the free throw line as well. To me, I have to lean a little bit Missouri. I just think their wins are a little more impressive. I think their interior size is a little more impressive. And I think that they'll get to the free throw line a little bit more. But more than the side here, guys, I'm going to look under. In this venue, all games played in this venue, I'm going to look under in the first round and just see what happens throughout the course of these, because to me, that's a weird setting.
Yeah, good venue tidbits there, Robbie. I do agree with you. The football venue splitting in 2. It's almost like, man, we got to research that. Where the bench is going to be located and kind of communicating with your players. It's all going to be unique this year. But Matt, want to get your opinion here? We got the 8-9 matchup, like Robbie said. Leaning towards the under here, 141. What do you like inside total here?
I mean, Robbie covered a lot of my notes. It's almost like he read my notes before we did this thing. So, just a couple of the things that I had that weren't brought up. Missouri has had a miserable tournament history. I mean, the last 5 times they've lost, they haven't covered. You have that Norfolk State game in 2012 when they were a huge favorite and they don't even win the game. So, not that it matters because obviously this is a different team, but Missouri, the university, has had a rough time in the NCAA tournament. I mean, look, there's going to be a lot of games where you got teams who are playing well. I mean, when you look and as he mentioned, Iowa State is 3 of Oklahoma's wins since February 1st. And then they have a win over West Virginia, and it took double overtime to do it. The other question is Brady Manick. Is he going to be, playing good basketball? You kind of notice when they're losing games, he's in the single-digit scoring, or he's just not being efficient scoring. I think that you could tell this is a good live betting game in terms of with the new surroundings, with maybe foul trouble for either Tillman or Manick, because Manick has had foul trouble at times so far this season. If you see 2 quick ones on either of them, maybe you want to live bet the other team. So while I don't like anything necessarily full game from the start, you could watch this game and kind of get some tidbits and figure some things out as it goes along and bet it live.
And Matt, you bring up, Missouri not having success in the tournament. I would go back to, who are the coaches? Like what administration here, the coaching staff? Quanzo Martin came in 2018 or so. Does what you're saying, them struggling in the tournament, how far back does that go?
It goes back to 2010. Conzo Martin lost in 2018 in the first round, so he's only had one of the losses. And obviously, as we said, it's all different kids and it's all different things. This year's version's not going to care what happened back in 2012 or 2013. It's just a tidbit to bring up that the tournament's been a little rough for Missouri lately.
All right. He's Matt Josephs. We also got Rob Vino at WagerTalk.com. And guys, enjoy the game here. Also got a coupon code for you, MM50 at checkout for the March Madness package. Takes $50 off. Check it out, WagerTalk.com for Robbie Vino. Matt Josephs at SportsMemo.com. That coupon code MM50 at checkout. Enjoy the games, guys. Thanks for tuning in.